Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Lilly here with the MLM Superheroes, and we are live right now on an international call, on an international broadcast, broadcasting to all four corners of the world. Guys, what I want to do here tonight is I want to share with you as much value as I possibly can, so that when you leave here tonight, that you're going to know deep inside the core of your being that what I'm telling you is really possible. It's possible for anyone. It's possible for anyone that is tapped into their vision, that's tapped into their dream, that has drawn a line in the sand, and that says, I will no longer stand for this in my reality any longer. Now, you have to get to that point in your life if you truly want to experience freedom. You have to get to that breaking point in your life where you will no longer stand for the life that you have, and you've got to raise your standards. You've got to raise your standards to a higher level, guys. It's really important that you understand this. Now, I don't know what's brought you here tonight. You know, you could be a person that's in between careers. Maybe you've been downsized, laid off, cut back, pink slipped. You could have been in a situation where there was two income streams coming into your family, and now all of a sudden there's only one income stream. So you're leveraging off your credit cards, going further and further into debt, and a lot of times having to miss a mortgage payment because you just need to buy groceries. And that's the sad thing about what's going on right now in society, guys. That is a sad thing, where we're at right now. When I go to the grocery store, that people are actually buying their groceries using their credit cards and paying interest just to survive. So a lot of people right now are going to look at how are they going to generate an income. Now, you might be a person that has just gone through a shakeup. Maybe you've gotten a divorce. Maybe you've been separated. Maybe you've moved into a new city. Those are all states of transition. But if you're a person right now that is in what's called a breaking point, you realize that the strategies that you're currently using right now are not working. You might be working 1, 2, or even 3 jobs to try to get ahead, but you keep on slipping back every single month. You keep on putting more of the groceries onto the credit cards, going further and further and further into debt, and that's a path of bankruptcy, guys, just so you know. If you don't get more cash flow into the hopper, you will end up going bankrupt. Okay, so it's important for you to understand that you really have to start to look at what are some of the options that are available out there where you can be able to turn your life around. Now, I'm a serial entrepreneur. My background is in launching companies, raising venture capital, taking companies public. So I have other projects and other companies that I have myself personally. So what I was looking for was I wanted to create something that was going to give me leverage, something that was going to work for me while I slept. But in order to do that, it takes millions of dollars, guys, right? And I didn't want to put up all of that capital myself. So I found somebody that had already done all of that preliminary work for me. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my mentoring, something called test marketing. Right, knowing that it's not about what you think, okay? It's what does the market think? What do the buyers think that have the credit cards that are going to pull the credit card out to buy whatever it is that you have, your product or service? So don't let your ego get in the way of your bank account. And so many people do this. They come up with what they think is a good idea, and they don't do any test marketing at all to see what the consumers think. Right? They launch a company, they launch their brand name, they don't do any sort of case studies or focus groups to find out what the market thinks, and they end up blowing just a ridiculous amount of money because they haven't done the proper work in order to launch that. So tonight's call is called Fast and Furious Cash Flow. What I'm about to share with you guys is how I went from zero, from a complete flat start, to $100,077.16 online in less than 7 months. Okay, now here's what I will tell you. A lot of the sales that happened while I was sleeping. They happened while I was grocery shopping. They happened while I was golfing with my parents in Maui. They happened when I was hanging out with my son at the movie theater or at the arcade or just going for a walk down the street, and all of a sudden my text message goes off on my phone that says, "You've just made another commission." And that's called freedom, guys. That is called freedom, to be able to go wherever you want, whenever you want, and to have something online, a system online that is going to produce cash flow for you while you're sleeping. So my name is Darren Little. I'm also known online as the MLM superhero. And here's what I say, guys. Have no fear. The MLM superhero is here. My goal is to be able to fast track your path, because I always tell people this. I took a hit for the team, guys. Okay, I took a hit for the team. So what I did was I went out and did all the test marketing. I spent all my own money to be able to get all the data so that you don't have to do that, right? I've already blazed that trail in front of you and done all that work and taken all the risk so that you don't have to worry about it. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. I believe that 80% of success is all about showing up. And just because of the fact that you're here, if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to give you a $297 bonus. There's no purchase required, so put your credit card away. But I can tell you this. I like to reward the people that actually just show up, okay? Because I can do millionaire mentoring, and if the people just show up, I can tell you this for a fact. 30 to 90 days from now, their life will completely change, 100%. Business, guys, is 95% mindset. What do you believe to be true for you? Now, I don't know what the answer is to that. Because you may look at a cash flow type of opportunity, or a cash flow business where you can generate an income through affiliate programs or information products. There's a massive demand for this, just so you know, a massive demand worldwide for people to learn how to make money using the internet. Now, you can either believe that to be true for you, or you can believe it not to be true for you. You can believe that we're on literally a gateway right now to billions of dollars as we go through the shift and the change in the economy and the downsizing and the cutback and the cocooning that's going on. You can either believe that to be true for you, or you can believe that the entire internet is all saturated and there's no opportunity at all. I believe that it's literally like a gateway to as much money as you ever want to make in your whole life. So however big you can dream, however big that you think is possible. And that's what I'm going to talk about in tonight's call here as we move forward. Now, here's what I will tell you about business. As a serial entrepreneur, guys, okay, now, I learned these strategies working for a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lee Poulos. He taught me about the power of the subconscious mind, how to create your own reality. And there's 3 things that you have to master if you want to become a millionaire, a multimillionaire, and move into 10, 20, 50, 100 million, and even potentially to become a billionaire. These 3 things, okay, you have to master your thoughts, you've got to master your words, and you have to master your emotions to master your bank account. 3 simple things, guys. 3 simple things. Your thoughts, words, and emotions. Now, as we talk about some of the things to do with income and money, I just want to put a disclaimer out there, guys, to say that, income results will vary. It really depends on how emotionally connected you are personally to your own dream. And I don't even know if you'd ever show up, truthfully. I do millionaire mentoring throughout the week and team calls on the weekends, and I can tell you that every single person that actually shows up turns into a peak performer every single time. All they got to do is be consistent with showing up. But here are the actual facts from the Direct Sellers Association, and I want for you to really see the contrast between the 2 different realities here. 0.1% of the entire industry worldwide earns more than $400 a month. 0.1%. 0.1%. Now, you can either believe those statistics to be true, or you can master your thoughts, words, and emotions and create what I call a bubble. What's a bubble? A bubble is something that's not affected by its surroundings. A bubble is something that's manufactured by you, by your thoughts, by your vision, by your words of what you speak into the reality and speak into existence. You create that bubble. Okay, now here's how I've launched every company that I've ever done. This is how I've raised tens of millions of dollars for my own projects, and how I went on to become a millionaire at 35. Once I learned this, okay? So I was working for Dr. Poulos at 30 years old, and he talked to me about these two worlds that existed simultaneously. On one side, you had everything that you want, and on the other side, that you had everything that you don't want. He said, Darren, here's the two words that will take your life in every area to another level. Two words, two simple words. What if? What if? What if everybody that I talked to wanted to join my business? What if my phone was ringing off the hook with incoming phone calls? What if leaders were calling me from all four corners of the world? What if I could recruit new reps in minutes? What would that feel like, guys? Imagine that. What if money was flowing to me in avalanches of abundance? What would that feel like? If you visualize that right now and you saw this avalanche of money flowing to you, what would that look like? What would it feel like in your physiology? What if I created a $10,000 monthly residual income in 90 days? Now, guys, once you believe that to be true, here's what happens. You access the time continuum and you can speed the process up. So for me, it happened in 30 days, right? I believed that it would happen within 90, but it happened in 30, right? By my third month, I generated $25,000 in the third month. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I was able to do that. But imagine this. Imagine you start a business. You start from scratch, from a very flat start. And you tapped into what I call the fast track. People that have already taken the machete and blazed the trail through the jungle. They've already walked the trail before you. So it's much easier to do that a lot faster when that trail has already been blazed, okay? So my mentor said to me this, Darren, do you want to start having $3,000 days? I said, absolutely, I do, right? I mean, I've heard of it before. I've seen other people do it, but I want to be one of the people. I want to be one of the guys that has that. I want to have that freedom to start having $3,000 commissions coming in. So I started to visualize not 3,000, not 6,000, but 9,000. So I started to tap into a $9,000 day mindset. Now, here's what happened. The moment that I got my mindset in check, the first $3,000 day hit in the first 3.5 weeks. By the second month, the $3,000 days started to turn into $6,000 days. And by the third month, the best day ever was $7,163. Now, keep in mind, guys, like I said, 95% of business is mindset. So something to keep in mind. But what would it be like for you? This is what happened for me. Imagine starting a business on the 1st of November, and on the Boxing Day, the first day after Christmas, the internet gave to me $3,991.45. So think about what would that be like for you if you started a business the 1st of November, and by Christmas time, those were the type of days that you started to experience. What if you're in an existing networking company and you've always dreamed about being in the top 10 on the leaderboards, and all of a sudden you learned some strategies and you saw your name come right up from the very bottom, right up to the very top? Because that's what happened for me, guys. That's what I visualized. I visualized that was going to happen. I accepted that as truth, and I just spoke that into the reality, right? And that's what we teach in our Millionaire Mentoring and our Quantum Physics training on how you can actually create whatever reality that you want. But here's what your battle is going to be. 2 areas. The first area that you're going to battle is called the human condition: deservability, worthiness, self-love, and boundaries. 4 key areas. How do you master those 4? You master the 4 by mastering the 3. What are the 3? Your thoughts, your words, and your emotions. Here's the other section. A lot of people don't realize this. There's an invisible barrier between you and your dream. And I call it breaking inertia. Breaking inertia. Now, if you don't have enough front-end momentum, front-end energy to break through that resistance, that invisible wall, your business will never get lift off. And a lot of people start off down this path, and if I reach out to them and I go, tell me what's going on in your business. Well, I got this one guy I think might be interested. Okay, you're broke. Forget about it. You will not break inertia. You need to have massive momentum on the front end of your business in order to break through that invisible wall and get that lift off, just like an airplane. The airplane, the pilot doesn't go half speed. He goes full throttle right to the ground in order to get lift off by the time he gets to the end of the runway. So here's what I will tell you. In the first stage, what I tell all my students, if you want instant inertia to be broken, to have 25 connections in any given day. Now, we teach social media, Twitter, Facebook, so that you can be able to do that, right? Very, very easy, very effortless. It doesn't take a lot of time. It takes concentrated, focused effort is what it takes, okay? Now, in combination with that, I used some paid traffic, which is qualified buyers that get sent to a lead capture page. But I want for you guys to understand about the inertia, breaking inertia. So here's a typical case study or test result that I did on one particular campaign. Now, keep in mind, I was having 25 connections in any given day, but at the end of my first week, I only did about $129. Okay, it didn't look like there was very much happening. Second week comes along, I did about the same, $129. Now, keep in mind, I am going full speed ahead. Now, a lot of people that would start a business like that, putting in that much effort, here's what they would do. Remember about the 2 worlds that exist simultaneously. They would say, this doesn't work. I knew it was a ripoff. I knew that I was going to lose my money. Why am I wasting all this effort? It's not going to work. Right? That's what most people say. But here's what I knew. I knew about inertia. I knew if I kept on putting in those 25 connections a day, by my 3rd week, bam, I would break through. So all of a sudden it jumps up to $1,400 the next week. Then it jumps up to $2,700 the next week. Then almost $3,000, and then $4,400 each consecutive week, totaling over $12,000 in 49 days. Okay, $12,000 in 49 days. Now, I'm not talking about one-time income, guys. I'm talking about monthly residual income. So what's the strategy? How does this all work? Okay, this is where people go wrong in this type of a business model. The first thing that you need to understand or develop is what's called a lead magnet. Now, what's a lead magnet? A lead magnet is something that solves people's problems with your target market, and it provides so much value to them that they're willing to give you their email address just to get it, just to see the video, just to get the PDF file, just to get the special report, just to get the interview, whatever it is. Now, when you're first starting in a business, you can do these within literally your first few days, okay? But you've got to shift from being a victim into being a victor. You've got to shift your energy from woe is me to taking charge as a leader. This is a leadership business model, okay? And it's very easy to do these. If you surround yourself with other leaders, they're more than happy to help, okay? So you've got your lead capture page or your lead magnet, right? And all you need to do is get qualified buyers to the page. Okay, that's your only goal. You're going to get qualified buyers to the page. Now, you can buy the qualified buyers and send them to a page, or you can create valuable content that solves people's problems where you're building rapport and a connection with those people. Now, once they opt in, Okay, once they opt in, they're going to watch a video. Now, there's something in marketing that I call under the radar. What's under the radar? Under the radar is something that's not going to create an argument between the husband and the wife, okay? It's not a big enough amount that's going to rock the boat in their world. Now, typically, in this type of a business model, that can be anywhere from $7, but under 100. Okay, under 100, 7 to 100. If you're in that zone, you're okay. But for the best results, typically under $50. Okay, so if something's under $50, the husband or the wife will still pull up the credit card. And what this is going to do now, it's going to actually create all of the funding for your business. It's called a funded proposal. Okay, it's called a funded proposal. So all of that is going to pay for your leads, your traffic, your autoresponder, your any tools that you have, your domains, all of that stuff is going to be funded by your funded proposal, right? Now, what that does, it starts to give you a proper marketing and advertising budget. Because so many people, they start a business, they got no budget, right? They put their last little bit of money into the business, so the only thing that they can really do is contact their friends and family. And it's just a massive rejection, and it's not necessary. If you learn how to become a professional marketer, you learn about target marketing, you can completely turn your life around in 30 to 90 days, okay? Now, typically what happens after that is there's some type of an upsell to something. This is going to further fund your funded proposal. It's going to give you the money for your marketing and advertising campaign and allow you to start scaling up your campaign, okay? Now, when I started with a budget of $560, okay? That gave me 800 qualified buyers, right, that got sent to a page, and the campaign was profitable. That means I made more money from the sales than I did for the cost of the thing, but it also generated me about 250 leads that I could continue to market to. That's real marketing, guys, okay? That's how you can scale a business up from nothing, and in the third month already be making $25,000 once you understand these strategies, okay? So what happens next? There's some sort of a contact now with that person. So imagine that they're a new person, they bought some products, they're either going to be contacted by you or somebody that represents you. That could be a personal assistant, or we also have coaches that actually do all that follow-up for you to now contact those people to find out their vision. What do they want? Why did they buy those products in the first place? What do they want to accomplish with their business? To find out what's their vision, what do they want the money for, and how serious they are. Now, from there, it's going to go into a series of training products that are going to help those people learn how to market online, where the commissions are anywhere from $1,750, $350, $700, all the way up to as high as $3,000 per transaction that you can make as a business owner. Now, what I want to equate this to, guys, is to going into a restaurant. So imagine you go into a restaurant and the waiter gives you a menu and there's all these things on the menu. Well, you don't order every single thing off the menu. You might pick an appetizer and a main course, or maybe you're going to have a salad and a steak or something like that, or some pasta. But you don't order every single thing off the menu. So what we do is we give you a variety of marketing strategies that you can choose from. I only use a couple myself, right? Only a couple. Not hundreds, not even a dozen, a couple, right? But once you get good at those couple marketing strategies, that becomes your special sauce. Now, all of those eyeballs are going to get sent to a lead capture page. They're going to get something of value, which is your lead magnet. Now they're going to have a little sale. They're going to be upgraded. They're going to get a call from somebody, you or somebody on your coaching team. And now you're going to start to make commissions on the training products. Okay, this is a model that works for any business. It doesn't matter what industry that you're in. You can incorporate this type of model with an autoresponder follow-up series so that you can literally make a fortune while you're sleeping. Okay, and any industry, guys. Now, what I do after that, once I start having some results, is you want to now share the results of your campaign. Now, this is where a lot of people go wrong in this type of a business model. Doesn't matter what you're marketing. They don't document the results along their path, right? And it's not about the huge income stories. My first story was how I was, at an Oriental restaurant. I was eating beef and broccoli, sipping on some Chinese tea, and my phone started going off like a Las Vegas slot machine. And I thought somebody was trying to get a hold of me. My text was going off. And I was super hungry, so I started eating my beef and broccoli, and I'm sipping away, and my phone goes off again, and then again, and then again. And I was thinking, who the heck wants to get a hold of me this bad? And I opened up my text section, and it was commissions coming in. I didn't even realize it. I had bought in some traffic. The traffic was being sent to a page. The people were opting in, and those were commission notifications. So it wasn't a big amount of money. It was like $75 or something that I made during lunch, okay? But that one little story generated 18 inquiries through social media because people wanted to find out how I did it. You know, here I am sitting having lunch, and I just made $75 completely automated, right? Well, how did you do that? What system did you use? Where did you get your traffic from, right? That's how you get buzz going, through social media. So then I report my results to the market. I showcase them on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. I might even cut a video on it or share my screen, take people right behind the scenes. That, guys, is called marketing. So I can continue to invest that money back into the business. My first campaign was $560. It was profitable. So I took the money. It was $700. I put it back in. Boom, I had my first $3,000 day. I took half of that, $1,400. I bought some more traffic. Boom, I had a $6,000 day. That's how it happens, guys. If you think about it, it just makes sense. If you can get qualified buyers in front of a video, some of them will convert, and other of them you can follow up with to build a relationship with over time using the power of your blog, which is your central hub, and the power of your message. What was your breaking point? What finally got you to throw your hat over the wall to say there's got to be a better way? So I set something out that was unique, right? What was unique? I created a lead capture page that not everybody else had, right? So I stood out from the crowd. People didn't go to my page and go, oh, I've already seen this, right? I've already seen that. So what I did was I set myself out apart from the crowd, and I designed a lead capture page that would be different than everybody else. That's something that I really recommend to do if you're serious. So, but this is really about stepping into a leadership role. Remember, I was talking about sharing your results. So people say to me, Darren, I don't know what to do to become a leader. What do I do? Where do I even start? It's really, really simple. 3 simple steps, guys, okay? Let's say today's your very first day. You've never had any experience marketing. You don't even know what you're doing, okay? Step 1 is you're going to learn something. You're going to watch a video. You're going to learn a strategy. And you go, okay, I see how that works. Okay, cool. And the next day, or even that same night, you're going to start to implement it, okay? Now, you might be implementing it on Twitter. You might be implementing it on Instagram. Maybe you're implementing it on Pinterest. Maybe you're implementing it on Facebook, right? Maybe you're doing your first blog post and learning how to syndicate the content. So you're going to implement it, and you're going to collect some data, just some results. How many people saw it? How many people watched the video? How many leads did you generate in the 2 or 3 days, right? Was there any conversions? Did anybody buy your product? And now what you're going to do is share your results. Real simple. Learn the strategy, implement the strategy, and share your results. That, guys, is how you become the attractor factor. That's how you get your phone ringing off the hook with incoming phone calls. That's how your phone starts ringing from all 4 corners of the world. That's how when people, you talk to anybody, they start to join your business. Literally. Hey, Darren, I heard about this new deal. Send me your link. Hey, Darren, I watched one of your videos on YouTube. Send me your link. That's what happens. So just from learning, implementing, and sharing, That's how you take your business to the next level. Now, what I want to share with you is how I was able to create a six-figure income in 30 days. Now, what's that mean? That means more than $8,333 the first month, okay? If you do that, you're on track to make $100,000. So you want to set it in your mind, set your frequency that you're going to generate at least $8,333 in your first month. Here's what I did. First of all, I needed something where it was going to pay me high commissions, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? If I want to make $10,000 and I can make a $3,000 commission, I only got to make like 3 sales and change, right? I don't have to make a lot in order to make that $10,000. But it had to be an affordable entry that was going to be under the radar so that it wasn't going to create a husband and wife issue. People weren't going to get in a divorce over whether or not they pulled out their credit card and spent $47. You know what I mean? So it has to be under the radar, okay? Something that's affordable for the masses. And people needed to become profitable on my team within a 30-day period of time. So I needed to be able to show somebody that if you do this, and this, and you just take massive action, that you can have the same results that I had in my very first month coming out of the gate. Now, I wanted to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort in the shortest time possible, right? And in order to do that, you have to have upsells from that lower ticket item up to high commissions. It's important that you understand that. Now, in this type of a business model, people are not really trained this, but I'm going to tell you this. This is top secret, okay? This can totally change every area of your business, guys. So write this down. In networking, in direct sales, in MLM, something or someone other than you needs to talk about your business. Something or someone other than you needs to talk about your business. The moment that you open your mouth, the moment that you start talking about this and your products and your comp plan and blah, 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 you have just blown it, okay? Because it's not duplicatable. All you want to be able to do in your process here, guys, is to be able to connect with prospects and help them solve problems, okay? Not pitch your deal, okay? When you learn the distinction of this is when you become a seven-figure income earner. And my mentor taught me, Darren, I don't want you talking about our company, and I don't want you talking about our products. And I was like, well, what the heck am I going to talk about? If you want to make big money, Darren, if you want to make millions, I want you to talk about them. Now, guys, that one thing I learned from my mentor completely and totally changed my life in every aspect. So remember that the corporate videos need to convert all on their own without you, okay? And there needed to be marketing training that would help people to learn new skills. Now, here's the exact steps that I took, the exact steps. The first thing that I did was I found what I call a high-ticket item that would pay me a $3,000 commission on the high end, right? And it was an easy market entry at $47. Okay, that was the first thing that I looked for. The program that I found that with is called iPath 2, okay? Then I bought an autoresponder. Now, an autoresponder is going to communicate with your market while you're sleeping, right? You don't have to sit there and send out every single email when somebody opts in for information. They send you an email and say, hey, I want to find out about your business. You don't have to be sitting by your computer sending out individual emails every day. The autoresponder does that automatically. So somebody might be on day 1 or day 3 or day 7 or day 12 or day 15. The autoresponder is going to do that automatically and give you leverage. The next thing that I did was I bought what's called the Black Card membership, okay? That's all the training, everything that I needed to be totally set up and go turnkey to be able to not only learn the strategies, implement them, and share with other people what I learned. That's how you build your team. So then I purchased $560 in paid traffic. Okay, that was 800 qualified buyers, and I just sent them to a page. Real simple, right? It was one click. I made a payment, and I was in business. Okay, so something that anybody could do. Then I reported my results on social media, okay, on Facebook and on Twitter. Those were the two ones that I used. And I continued to email my list with my results, what was happening for me and what was starting to happen for people on my team. And I provided more value. I sent them copies of my Millionaire Mentoring. I sent them copies of interviews that I was on or podcasts that I was being interviewed for magazines or radio stations that were doing interviews with me. I sent all that to my list. And then I started to just show people how simple and easy the process was to be able to do exactly what I did. That's the key, guys. That's the key you got to understand here. It's not about what you can do. Do you have a formula that anybody can do? Do you have a formula that anybody can do? Okay, so, that's really the key to freedom. Okay, you can't have freedom unless you can do that. Now, the other thing that I learned was something called cloning. What's cloning? Cloning is when you can make copies of yourself, right? Now, when I first got started in this industry, there was this guy, one of my mentors talked about J. Paul Getty, right, saying that I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. Now, I think about that, because when you go into your job every day and you work 8 hours or 10 hours or 15 hours, I mean, the most that somebody could probably work would be about 18, right? And they would get burned out after about 5 months, okay? But what if there was 1,000 of you working 8 hours a day? What if there was 1,000 of you working 24 hours a day? And people say, well, Darren, how's that possible? You said that you can only work 18 hours. Video, guys, video. Now, once you learn the power of video, once you learn the power of Google Hangouts, once you realize that you can make clone copies of you that work for you while you're sleeping. They work for you when you're with your kids. They work for you when you're traveling on vacation, so that you can be out and about, or you can get up in the morning and see an email that says, congratulations, you've just made a $3,000 commission. And I can tell you, when that happens for you the very first time, it totally transforms your life, because your self-worth starts to go vertical. You realize that it's all an illusion, and you've been hypnotized to believe the only way that you can make money is to punch in and punch out of your job at work. And they've literally been robbing you dry, getting you to work for pennies, like a slave for them, when there's so much abundance that's available to all of us once you tap into these concepts. Now, what I want to do here, guys, before we reach out to I'm going to reach out right now to Chad Turner. Chad Turner, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Darren.
Okay. Chad, what I want you to do here, I know that, 6 months ago you were a waiter working in a restaurant making $2,100 a month. You've now had 6 $3,000 days. You just a week ago or so, you had almost a $10,000 week. Talk to the people here to really explain what the shift was for you in your mindset and what's really taking you to that next level.
The shift in mindset really is where the pedal meets the metal. I've had a lot of people join my team, and it's like, I can just tell that their mindset's there. And for me, it's been an ongoing process. And then, of course, it's been, accelerated and amplified, getting into the Millionaire Mentoring Program. And, like you said earlier, 80% of success is showing up. And I made it a point to show up to every single Millionaire Mentoring session that was available, because I knew that even if I didn't even totally get everything, that I was going to download, that information, and it would reflect in my reality. And yeah, it's just been just transformational is the way to put it. And all I can say is, anyone who's listening to this call, just have no fears, take action, and go for it. I mean, what we do is really simple. It's just about, creating the belief in yourself and just moving out and doing it, because the experience, the end result is absolutely priceless. To be able to just wake up and just not be in a rush, be able to just go about your day. And yeah, I mean, it's just priceless. You can't put a price tag on freedom.
Guys, what I want for you to really be able to relate to here on this call is, have you ever been in a situation where it's Sunday night and you've just kind of started winding down, okay? You just need one more day, just one more day. But tomorrow's Monday morning, and you know that you got to get up to an alarm clock, you got to fight through traffic to get through to your job, to fight traffic on the way back home, to do that cycle over and over and over again. The power of this type of a business model is that you can go to bed whenever you feel tired, get up whenever you feel rested to start your day. Now, I can tell you this. Me personally, I know this about my own personality. Because I know that I can take any time off, anywhere, I can book a trip tomorrow and just take off. Because I know that, I actually work harder. I work harder to get other people to their breakthrough. I work harder so that, Chad Turner has his breakthrough. Chad just launched his own value called My Tweet Formula that just came out. Keep in mind, guys, he's only in his 6th month right now of Millionaire Mentoring. Now, I want to equate this to a story of my niece who spent $40,000 to go get her nursing degree. But nurses only get paid about $5,000 a month. Now, Chad threw his hat over the wall. He surrendered his pride and his ego. He got the black card. He went all in on his dream. He's had 6 $3,000 days and a $10,000 week. Where is he going to be 2 years from now? Think about that. What is his life going to be when he's cranking out $10,000 weeks in month 5, and now he's got his own value, his own special sauce, his own mentoring, his own training, and he's getting people himself into the top 100 affiliates? Think about the power. That's called Millionaire Mentoring. Now, I want to reach out here to my business partner, Mr. Tom Selly. Are you there?
I sure am. Can you hear me, buddy?
Absolutely. Tom, maybe just share with us, you've been a 7-figure income earner. You've had months where you've had, $150,000 coming in a single month. What made you throw your hat over the wall to say, you know what? I want to be part of this. I want to be connected to this Millionaire Mentoring. What happened for you?
Well, I'll tell you, Darren, in business, everybody likes to do business with their friends. And I've been knowing you as just a friend on Facebook for about 3 years, and I've seen all of your posts. I've seen, when you tell your story about how you were documenting each little success, I saw all of those posts. It's like it was like you were taking me down memory lane. And I know in business, people buy you. It's not the business that they buy. It's the people that they buy. So I was just bought into Darren Little. Darren Little, the entrepreneur, and Darren Little, the person who cares about other people. And, I'm a personal development freak. I love personal development, and I'm usually the guy on the conference calls doing the download. I'm usually the guy doing the training. But what brought me over to this Millionaire Mentoring is that you were saying things that I have never heard. A lot of what you say I've heard before, but there's plenty of stuff that you were saying that was enlightening me on the quantum physics level. This quantum physics training, I'm not hearing almost anybody in network marketing teach. And I got to say, for me, that was all it took. I knew I was going to work with you from nearly day one. I said, one of these days, me and that guy are going to be doing business together. And the season just did it. And now was the season where the clouds parted, the planets came in line, and just like you said, I threw my hat over the wall. I went all in, and I am so excited. Right now as I speak, guys, I'm literally getting goosebumps. I could not be more excited about where we're going with this, and I see the day coming where instead of $100,000 a month in residual income, we're going to see $1 million a month in residual income coming in, and I believe that's going to happen faster than most people can comprehend.
And here's the interesting thing on that note, because what I want for you, if you're just calling in for the first time and you're listening to this, some of these numbers might seem like they're absolutely ginormous, right? But I want for you to realize that in a conventional networking type business model, to become a millionaire, you literally need a small country. Okay, no joke. 80 to 250,000 people in your organization to be able to make $1 million. What we're talking about here, guys, is a different level, okay? You only need 333 sales to become a millionaire. Okay, so it's not even like it's a lot, right? And when you combine that with quantum physics, when you combine that of the 5 steps to wealth creation, when you combine that with the strategies that I learned from my millionaire mentor to be able to tap into your power, break through your fears, and literally speak your reality into existence. Okay, so here's what happened for me. Month 1, I came out of the gate and I hit my target. My target was 10 grand. Okay, so I hit that my first month. But by the 3rd month, I made $25,000 in month 3. I rose up to the number 1 spot on the leaderboards, which is what I set my intention for. Now, there's a difference between a goal and an intention. An intention is emotional. There's emotion and movement behind an intention. Okay, so I set my intention. Now, here's the interesting thing that happened. Just this last week, this is what happened last week. So my intention was to be able to get to the top of the leaderboard in the yesterday position and in the 7-day position. So I came up short a couple times. I was number 1 on one side and number 3 on another side. Number 3 on one side and number 4, then number 1 and then number 2. I didn't quite meet that. The moment that I set my intention again, that I'm going to do this, no matter what, it's going to happen. I drew a line in the sand, and I accepted it as truth. Here's what happened. Not only did I hit the number 1 in both locations, but the energy force carried up into the next section, which is the 3-month and the 6-month one, and it went to number 4 in the 3-month and number 7 in the 6 months. That's what happens, guys. That's what happens when you set your intention. You make a decision. You draw a line in the sand, and you raise your standards to a higher level. Now, right now, we are going through, what I call another step in the growth of our team. Right? And what I typically like to do is create as many success stories as I possibly can. More success stories like Chad Turner. More success stories like Mary Barnett, who was able to double her income with her food manufacturing business and just have her first $3,000 day. More people like Sonia Davis, who's comes from the corporate world, who just had her first $1,500 day. These are people that already make 6 figures plus, but they don't have freedom. They don't have the ability to go away whenever they want, right? So we got Sonia Davis on the line.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Sonia, maybe just share with us a little bit. I know you come from corporate America, from the corporate world. What finally, put you into a position where you threw your hat over the wall, you went all in on your dream, and you said, I'm not looking back, I'm getting to millionaire status, and that's it, period?
Well, my story starts out where I had been involved in, different businesses before because I've always had a desire to own my own business. I just didn't quite, know how to do that. So I had, like I said, got involved with, other MLM companies, and I was never as successful as I thought I could be. And just like Tom, I noticed you posting on Facebook. We weren't friends at the time, but I did see, a lot of your posts, and I was, very intrigued by what I saw. So, of course, I got in touch with you, and once I got in on the millionaire mentoring, that's when everything started changing for me, because it was about really your own personal development. It's about what you believe and how you feel about yourself. And I realized that I was carrying along some baggage along the way. So due to the Millionaire Mentoring Program, I was able to get rid of a lot of that, and I began to believe in myself. And once that started happening is when I got results. Results for the first time that were just so exciting. My first $1,500 day, I was so excited. So that's how it happened for me. Millionaire mentoring changed everything, turned everything around for me. That's when I drew that line in the sand. And I'm just excited as both Tom and Chad about being a part of the team.
Fantastic. So let me ask you this, Sonia, because, you know, so many people, they start down the path of a business. They try, they spin their wheels, And I know that something shifted for you when we met in person, we met in Nashville, and you had a massive breakthrough. And ever since that time, you're a completely different person. I got to be honest. I mean, you're different completely in your energy and your leadership. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, in Nashville, it was our company event, and I had been to many company events before. I had never been to one like this. What I saw was people from all walks of life who had started out with nothing. And these people had risen to a level of success that I could not believe. And see, when I saw it, I had to see it with my own eyes. And when I saw and heard some of the stories from these people, I resonated so with it that my heart was like heavy. I mean, you saw me. I was sitting there crying. You know, I could not. I was just so overwhelmed because I realized at that point, the realization that I had was that I could do it. I could do it. There was nothing stopping me from doing anything that I wanted but myself. It was all of the self-limiting beliefs that I had about myself were gone because I saw what happened there. I saw those people. I heard their stories. I even talked to some of them. So that's when my breakthrough happened, when I really realized, when I understood that there was the only thing standing in my way was myself.
You know, and that's a really good point that you know, so many people, when it comes to becoming an entrepreneur, you know, I will tell you guys that when I grew up, you know, I was very, very fortunate that my dad had just an unbelievable work ethic. And he was like a role model for me because he was very focused. He was very driven. He set his intention, you know, when he was in real estate to be the top producer of the month. And every month he would come home with these pewter mugs, and he would put another one on the mantle, another one on the mantle, another one on the mantle. You know, every month, top producer. And it really tapped me into that type of mindset, you know, that anything is possible once you set your intention. But here's what I will tell you that's the important thing that so many people don't understand about this is step one is surrendering your pride and your ego. And it's the hardest thing for people to do, is to surrender their pride and their ego because, see, the ego wants to be right. The ego doesn't want to believe that you don't know the stuff already, so people try to figure it out on their own. And that's the worst possible mistake that you can make as an entrepreneur when there are already people that have blazed the trail in front of you like a minesweeper going in front of you across a minefield. Right? Now, if you don't know where to step and there's no minesweeper there, you can get blown up. Right? And that's not a good thing. But I always tell people the number one thing in the beginning that you're going to have to do is to surrender your pride and your ego and get a mentor. It's critical. Now, when you're working with a team that has 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, It makes it a lot easier when you're part of a mastermind, when you're part of that mastermind group and you're sharing on a much higher level of business. So it doesn't matter where you are at on your current level, right? It's about who are you associating with? Who are you getting energy transference from? Are they broke right now? Are they people that don't even own their own homes? Or are they people that have already achieved freedom, that are living the lifestyle that you want, right? That's what I did. I found people that were living the lifestyle that I wanted, and I wanted to copy them. Now, coming from the conventional world of doing three-way phone calls and home parties, I can tell you that's not freedom. And it certainly wasn't freedom for me, because my phone started ringing at 7 a.m. in the morning, and some days it didn't finish ringing until 2 a.m. the following day. And a lot of days, by the end of the day, I had no voice. I was completely hoarse voice. And guys, that is not a freedom lifestyle. It's just not. And I just about quit the industry altogether because of that, because it totally took my freedom away from me. So I felt like that I was preaching a dream, but I was really living a nightmare. What we have right now with this automated online system that does 95% of that hard labor for you, right? You just got to get qualified buyers to go to a page and watch a video, right? And then build a relationship with them and be okay with surrendering and being vulnerable to let them get to know the real you. Stop trying to be someone. Just be yourself. Just tell people about your vision, your dream, your passions, your pain, your personal breakthroughs that you've gone through. What were your breakthrough books that you read that totally changed your life? What seminar did you go to that totally altered your course on your path in life? Share your breakthroughs. What were your life lessons that you learned that can help fast track the next person so that they don't have to experience the pain that you went through? That's what it means to be a leader. That's what it means to be able to lead people to victory, where you're prepared to help them get through that gateway to take their life to the next level. So what I would encourage you to do, guys, is to reach out to the person that invited you to this call. If you're a person that's in a state of transition or you're in a breaking point, and you know deep inside of your soul and every part of your being, you know that abundance is your birthright. That's the person that this calls for today. That's the person that this business is for, because you have a support system here with a strategy that we've already done test marketing on and proved out the model with multiple people on the team having $3,000 days, Chad just having a $9,750 week. You know, once again, individual results will vary depending on how passionate that you are about your dream. But if you're that person that has finally drawn a line in the sand and is ready to take your life to the next level, reach out to the person that invited you to this call and take action. Throw your hat over the wall. Now, the bonus that I offered you at the very beginning, I told you I promised to give you, it's a $297 bonus, guys. What you want to do is go to darrenlittle.com/unstoppable. /unstoppable. Now, that particular training is part of a $3,000 bonus that I give all of my students just for having a blog, which is your central hub. It's called the Kalatu Premium Blog, and seven-figure mindset training. Okay, so for a startup cost of $197, I'm so confident in what I do that I give you all my best value that helps me to make millions. The $3,000 bonus that you get for free, right, just for being part of our millionaire mentoring team, right? So darrenlittle.com/unstoppable. And if you're a person that is started a business, maybe you have a business, if you go through that webinar and you actually do the homework, here's what I will tell you. You will get to a point where you are so emotionally connected to your dream, where you're so emotionally connected to your passion, where it literally becomes you. You become your dream. You morph right into your dream. That's when you become unstoppable. That's how I've been able to raise tens of millions of dollars, by understanding this strategies, these formulas that I teach now to my students. So you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes. I would encourage you once again, throw your hat over the wall, take your life to the next level, reach back out to the person that invited you to this particular broadcast, and I look forward to meeting you in person one day. I look forward to seeing you at the top. Bye for now.